We're on the Raw after SummerSlam, and Gunther is congratulating himself on retaining the World Heavyweight Championship against CM Punk at SummerSlam, only for him to turn his attention to El Grande Americano, and the man he believes to be under the mask, Ludwig Kaiser, as the man himself comes out and denies the accusations, which gets him further scolding from the ring general, who just verbally abuses his fellow Imperium member, until finally he demands for Ludwig to leave so he can continue his speech. But he hesitates, although after further pressure from the champion, he does so, as Gunther continues on with his promo. Only issue being that Kaiser didn't go to the back, as he slowly turns around and strolls back to ringside and eventually re-enters the ring. And once Gunther realizes, it's too late, as he gets smacked in the face, yet he doesn't fall. That is until Ludwig rakes the eyes and subsequently goes low. The mighty has fallen, though he isn't satisfied with just that, as he goes to the outside and grabs a steel chair before sliding into the ring, and once Gunther recovers, he gets hit with a shot to the skull. A bad move just connected, and with blood streaming down Gunther's face, Ludwig Kaiser connects none other than a powerbomb onto the exact same chair, before he finally leaves, officially marking the end of Imperium 1.0. As now, Ludwig's aspirations are bigger than ever, as he wants to be the one who ends Gunther's tyranny, perhaps, once and for all. And once the following Raw rolls around, we kick off the show with the aftermath of the betrayal. Ludwig Kaiser is here, and Gunther is not. He's at home resting after the brutal beating the previous week. So after taking his time making his way towards the ring, Ludwig strolls into the center of the squared circle, and after soaking in all the booze, Ludwig Kaiser explains himself as he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I demand none of your gratitude because you all absolutely suck. And you want to know who else sucks? The current World Heavyweight Champion, the man who lost to a catchphrase merchant, Gunther. Because when he told me to go find success on my own, I did. I proved myself to be bigger than just a sidekick. So when Gunther told me that wasn't good enough, I knew I deserved better. I knew this was done. Imperium, as you knew it, as everyone knew it, is dead. No longer will I be a glorified yes man. Gunther, I will be the next World Heavyweight Champion because once you're cleared to wrestle, I am going to end you." Ludwig Kaiser says his piece, and he leaves, clearly giving his intentions away to the world. And as he leaves, we get an official announcement that both former members of Imperium will be in the same building next week. What will Gunther have to say in response? Well, when the time comes, Ludwig awaits for a ring general, which he doesn't have to do for long. Gunther is here, and he's all business, as he storms to the ring with purpose, and that purpose is to get vengeance on his former stablemate. No words needed. However, as soon as he gets into the ring, we hear some familiar music. Ilia Dragunov is back, and he's back for the same reason Gunther is in the arena. Revenge, as he says. "You think you can take 9 months off my career and get to work free? No, Gunther, this is only the beginning. So I'm gonna make the challenge to you right here, right now, for Clash in Paris, for the World Heavyweight Championship." But Ludwig Kaiser interjects and says, "Walking back into this company and demanding a title shot, typical. But whilst you've been gone, I've been working my arse off to get into this position. So if you want him, you're gonna have to go through me." Although as soon as he says this, he gets floored by a humongous Gunther chop who screams, Ilia, I put you down many a times, and I'll do it again if you can get past the inferior Imperium member next week. And when he says this, he picks back up Ludwig Kaiser and drops him with a thunderous powerbomb. And as he walks up the ramp, the #1 contendership match is made official for next week. And with a fierce stare down between two titans, Gunther leaves the two men behind. But who will stand tall on the Robot Clash in Paris? Well, it's time to find out as the match is on and both men charge at one another and begin swinging with shots like there's no tomorrow. Though the Mad Dragon is able to get on top and German suplexes the German down. Then with another, he bridges into the cover and attempts to get the early win. But this doesn't work, as Ludwig fights back with a shot to the gut and a twisting European uppercut. Yet as he mounts the Cesar, he reverses the pressure and forearms Ludwig a few times, although he pushes back and sends the Mad Dragon out of the ring. And subsequently, he dives on him. And after throwing him into the ring post head first and barricade back first, he sends Ilia back into the ring, who gifts him a massive lariat in response. But as Ilia looks to put Ludwig down, Gunther drags the Mad Dragon out of the ring and drops him with a lariat as soon as he gets up. And after powerbombing him onto the concrete floor, Gunther then turns his attention to his former best friend, going into the ring and quickly nailing another lariat, although he switches things up this time by locking in a rear naked choke. And of course, Ludwig Kaiser passes out. But Gunther isn't done, though he is physically, as he stands over the corpse and says, "Clash in Paris? I embarrass both of you. No excuses." The triple threat match is official! And we open the show with that same World Heavyweight Championship three-way. Who will win? Well, the match is on, and Ilia Dragunov immediately torpedo Moscow's Ludwig Kaiser, which sends him out of the ring. Yet as he goes for one on Gunther, the ring general is able to unbelievably transition it into a rear naked choke. But the Mad Dragon is able to fight out of it, as he nearly manages to catch the ring general off guard with a surprise roll-up, although this doesn't work, as this sets the tempo for the rest of the match, as Ilia and Gunther are able to keep each other at bay, with them scouting each other's moves. All the while, Ludwig Kaiser falls to the wayside, being outclassed by the other two, even at certain points almost losing, without the pin being broken up. But this eventually changes when he goes low. Not just on Gunther, but on Ilia Dragunov too, as he even manages to connect a regal plex onto the champion, which only gets him a 2 count. He can't believe it, so he goes for one more to Ilia Dragunov, who is able to counter as he locks in a rear naked choke. The move he used to make Gunther tap all those years ago. But before Ludwig can tap, Charlie Dempsey comes out of nowhere, dragging Ilia out of the ring and blasting him with a pair of brass knuckles. And before you know it, he leaves. So Ludwig attempts to take advantage, although he gets trapped in another rear naked choke courtesy of Gunther. He has nowhere to go. But this time, Tyler Bate comes out of nowhere and spiral taps Gunther after Pete Dunne got Ludwig out of harm's way. As with them sending a chant to the outside, Pete connects a bitter end onto the concrete floor. And with one more, this time on Ilia Dragunov, he gets thrown to the leader of the pack, Ludwig Kaiser, pinning the Mad Dragon. But only a 2 count. He thought that was it, but it wasn't meant to be. However, with one more regal plex, this time onto the neck, we see the shock of the century, as Ludwig Kaiser has just become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It's most certainly the upset of the year, and he could only do it because of Charlie Dempsey, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, 3/4 of the new and improved Imperium, with the 4th member holding up the biggest prize he has ever won in his entire career. And if you like this story, I think this might interest you.